Hello friends, welcome. Friends, today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic. I don't know if anybody has seen this headline. This headline was published on December 19th, 2023. That is today. Now what this headline is saying? It is saying that EU is disappointed over India's right to approach WTO's appellate body in the ICT duty case. Now those following WTO will understand what is going on. But for a layman, this might sound like Greek and Latin. So this is where I come in and I want to explain to you this whole issue in a very simplest form possible and what are the implication of this case or this particular issue which is kind of going on around where EU is disappointed and what kind of political maneuvering which is going on and how it is going to impact India's own economic interest. Only then you will understand that how this is so important, right, and why it is so important. Now, before I get into describing this whole issue, let's understand what is this ICT case is all about. This is ICT duty case is all about, and what is you disappointed about. Now, for you to understand it deeper, I am going to share with you certain links which I have done about this topic in past. Recently, I recorded a video on production line incentive just 1 month back. I'm going to paste this link in the description and you can watch. Similarly, I did an article on April this year at the time when the India lost this WTO case, and I'm going to describe why India lost and what happened at that time. This describes the whole issues minutely and very deeply, and the whole process has been clearly described. What are the strength of India's argument, what are the weaknesses of India's argument, what stand EU is taking and what stand India is taking, everything has been described. This also I'm going to paste in the description link and you can read this and you will get a very good idea why it is so important for India. So having talked about the earlier work that I did, which I am going to anyway post in the description link, I am going to give you an overview. So what is going on here? Now what happened was, friends, so let's look at this article. This article is going to become a very important part of this video, right? So what happened was that India signed an agreement which is called an IT agreement. Here is the agreement on 26 March 1997. Now what is ITA? ITA is Information Technology Products Agreement. So what happened was that member countries which are part of the WTO, WTO is what? World Trade Organization. What is the purpose of WTO? The purpose of WTO is to provide a platform for its member countries to negotiate trade deals, concession and commitment for serving their individual interests. That is simple. That is what WTO plays. This organization is a consensus-based organization and it has a well-defined system of resolving disputes. And every member country, including China, is part of WTO because there are a lot of mutual benefits countries get by participating in this forum. Because when you are exporting, and if you are part of this particular forum, then your exports will get some kind of most favored nation treatment by all the member countries. Means every member country will be imposing similar duty structure or not imposing similar duty structure depending upon what their obligations are as per this schedule. This schedule is Schedule 12 is India's obligations which is captured here as regards WTO. If you look at this is the India obligation. You can again go here and have a look at this particular link and look at what the India's obligations are. Now coming back to the article again. So what has happened is that under this schedule there are products and those products are being numbered through a mechanism called HS nomenclature. HS means HS code, harmonized system nomenclature. Now this HS nomenclature is managed by World Customs Organization. So they will come out with their series of codes and they regularly amend these HS codes, and an update is published with correlation table. Means let's say if you have a set of codes under a certain harmonized system for a particular year, let's say HS 2007, then there will be some modifications, some minor changes which will take place in the system because of the technology evolution or the change of product structure, etc. Those will get incorporated by World Customs Organization. So they will come out with correlation table and tell the countries that, look, you need to revise your codes or the nomenclature of that particular harmonized system and come out with a revision. Either you do it yourself or you ask us to do it and we will do it for you. So this is exactly what happened. What happened was that after the ITA agreement was signed, by the way, ITA agreement has got nothing to do with WTO. So that's a misconception. ITO is a separate forum outside the framework of WTO. So under that forum, what happened was that, because when you are part of the WTO, you have to negotiate between member countries within a consensus basis. Now, in order to facilitate that process, in order to expedite that process, what the member countries did, they created a separate platform under which the negotiation can happen. Once agreement takes place under that platform, then those changes can be incorporated in the WTO system. So ITA has got nothing to do with WTO, by the way. It's a separate system altogether, and it is just providing a framework for agreeing certain products, and what kind of consensus that those products, or what kind of treatment from a duties point of view those products are going to be given to each other countries, the member countries, and those were negotiated and then finally got incorporated in WTO. So that exactly what happened. So what happened was that in 1997, the ITA participants agreed upon themselves to bind and eliminate custom duties and other duties and changes of a kind within the meaning of article so and so, which I already explained, of GATT. Not that article, there's a separate article with respect to certain product, because this is the article under which these negotiations takes place, article 2 1b, and here the link is there. Every article or every point which is important, I have already provided a link, and this article will be this note will be very important for you to go through this aspect. That's why I am going through this note, which will make your life much more easy. Then, as a result of this agreement, the respective schedule of countries needed to be modified, as I explained to you. Once the agreement happened, then the HS codes needs to be modified. So what happened was that India's changes to schedule based on HS 1996 were certified and incorporated in 2nd October 1997. So once the agreement happened, India changes got incorporated on 2nd October 1997. Subsequently, WTO members agreed to update their schedule, WTO schedule, and aligned with the new HS nomenclature of 2002, right? Because these nomenclatures keeps on changing, and later, after a few years, the process of transposition from HS 2002 to HS 277 started. So, let's recap. This is important. ITA got signed somewhere within 1997. The changes were agreed upon. They got incorporated in HS 1996. Then later it got revised into HS 2002. Later it got revised into HS 2007. It started, and then finally this was ratified. The HS 2007 was circulated and ratified on 12th May 2015, right? And it got incorporated where? It got incorporated here. Look at this. You'll see here. The HS 2007 got certified and on 12th May 2015. This is all here, right? So it got incorporated as far as India is concerned. Now what happened was, on 25th September here, again here you go say, 25th September 2018, India realized that it has committed some mistakes by ratifying the HS 2007. And it said that because we believe that there are certain mistakes which has committed, and we would like to invoke 1980s Vienna decision. Now this decision is a little complicated, and I don't want you to basically go into the details of this decision because these are very technical WTO terms and you'll get lost. I want to make it simple. So there is a framework under which a member country can decide to revoke or unwind certain provisions of ratification of HS code if it thinks it has been done inadvertently. Means it had no intent to ratify those codes. You understand what I'm saying? Basically, it means that if I am of the opinion that certain things I am obligated to fulfill, and some things get incorporated inadvertently into the HS code's ratification process or the transposition process, which I do not have consciously concurred towards, then I can invoke the 1990 Vienna decision. Right? So that's all you need to understand because these are very complicated things, otherwise get lost. So India said that it did not agree to those transposition, and therefore it wants to unwind those decisions and you want to do the transposition to incorporate the changes which it thinks is the right genuine thing to do, because that is consciously India had agreed as per the IT agreement. Now what is the dispute? Let's understand the dispute. Now the dispute is as following. Dispute is this. India's point of view, I already agreed that India signed IT agreement. After signing IT agreement, all the transposition took place. The HS codes, nomenclatures were revised, incorporated, finalized and put into the system. And later India realized that it committed a mistake. But the member countries who have filed case against India, they say that look, India did not commit any mistake. India consciously agreed to the IT agreement. And later, when they started implementing the PLI policy and they wanted to promote local manufacturing, it was important for India to raise duties, and therefore, whatever India is doing is an afterthought. That is in short what these member countries are saying. And there is a counter argument going. Now, let me explain to you in very briefly, in very simple terms, what the EU argument is. EU is saying, and what the panel of judges agrees, because that's why they gave in judgment against India, they are saying that look, ITA agreement is nothing to do with WTO framework. It's an agreement which is on the side. India is saying that ITO agreement is basically a static agreement. Static agreement means whatever you have agreed under the framework of IT agreement, whatever products that you have agreed under the framework of IT agreement should be given treatment as per the agreement. However, if there is a new product which emanates out of the IT agreement, India is fully empowered to give it a different treatment. That's India's point of view. But what EU is saying, and a panel agrees with the EU's argument, is EU is saying that look, we have got nothing to do with IT agreement. We are basically talking about WTO. And WTO is not a static agreement. What basically means is that whenever you have agreed on certain HS nomenclature and ratified and transports, then when that HS nomenclature gets transports to the next generation of HS nomenclature, then it is not a static transposition. All the elements of HS codes or the products which are mapped with the HS codes remains dynamic in nature. Means once you have agreed, we don't change the product. We just change certain nomenclature of the product or mapping of those products. That's what the WTO claims. It says that it is a dynamic system. It is not a static system. Once you have agreed on a certain bucket of products which were already mapped to a certain HS code nomenclature, and when a new nomenclature gets announced, then these are not new products which are getting announced or which are getting mapped with a new set of numbering system. What the EU and the panel is saying, that these are same products which you ratified earlier, it's just getting transported into a new HS nomenclature system. That's all. It's not a static nomenclature, it's a dynamic nomenclature. So that is the primary contention of this debate. What India is saying, that it is a static agreement. This agreement, what they have encountered, is a static agreement. Any new product which emanated out of the IT agreement, India is not within the contractually obliged to give those products a treatment which it has agreed under the IT agreement. Means it duty free kind of treatment, like the new product, the 4G product, the 5G product, or what not came out later. 1996 did not have 4G, 5G and all those new products. So India is saying that all these new products I am fully empowered to give a different treatment because I did not agree. But you is saying that no, you have to give because these are part of WTO. It has got nothing to do with ITA. ITA is a different framework altogether. We are talking about WTO. Once you agree to a certain nomenclature, which you did in 1997, and later in 2002 it got ratified, then later in 2007 it got ratified. Now you cannot come back and say that I committed a mistake. That is the main point of debate. And then it also goes on to say that look, the panel basically highlights certain actions that India had taken in past, because Panel is saying that, look, you did not unwind these duties, long back, because these products have been, in place long back, and your duty treatment even before 2018, in most of the products you actually had given zero duty treatment. Only recently you have changed your duty structure from 0 to 10%, 20%, especially on mobile phones, right? So that's what they're saying. They're saying that, look, you are giving treatment of these products with the duty, you have increased the duties only lately. But most of the period after the IT agreement was finalized, you have been continued to give zero duty treatment, which clearly proves that you were under a conscious understanding that these products cannot be given higher duty treatment, and were supposed to be imported at zero and exported at zero duties. That is what their main point is. And finally, the main product of contention is mobile phones. Now, in the mobile phone, what the panel is saying, the panel is pointing out a very interesting point. I can't go through the whole article. You can read it because it will get, everything has been captured very nicely here. I believe so. You can read and you can tell me, whether you find it useful or not. It says, it quotes an example, panel quotes an example. We further note the WTO amendment of HS 96 explanatory notes introduced in 1998 unambiguously indicate the cellular mobile phone were indeed classified under tariff item of 852.20 of HS 1996 clause so and so. So it's saying that, the definition of mobile phone hasn't changed. So when you are imposing duties on mobile phones, you can't basically say that this is outside the framework of IT agreement or the outside the framework of WTO, because the definition of mobile phone is static, was static in nature from the very beginning itself. That is their point of view. So anyway, so I'll just conclude, without taking much more time. So what has happened now? So you have understood this whole problem. India is saying inadvertent error, so it's want to revoke and rewind those issues. You is saying no. And you probably wanted to use this opportunity to negotiate with India. And India is basically taking a very smart action by going to an appellate body which is dysfunctional. That's why they are disappointed. You understand now why they are disappointed? Because India has very cleverly gone to an appeal. Because look, if you look at the India's case is actually not strong. And very honestly telling you, it is not very strong. So but it is important for India from a national interest point of view to protect their stance. Because if India does not protect their stand, then the PLI policy of India is going to get shattered. Because the whole foundation of PLI policy, mobile phone manufacturing, is based on imported duties. Imposing of duties on mobile phones. So you can't unwind those duties right now before finally the whole thing gets strongly entrenched, and when you don't require a duty, right? So India is going to the appellate body and you is therefore disappointed. So this is net the whole issue. There have been many articles on this topic which I personally have authored. I'm going to put those topics before you. And as an Indian, you have to basically understand this, because WTO and international politics are all about national interest. It is our national interest, right, which we have to protect. And we have to adopt all kinds of approaches in order to protect our national interest, because it is in our interest, okay? So therefore, whatever India is doing is absolutely right. Because in India, we have to ensure that manufacturing is strengthened within our country. We get maximum benefit out of this product. And every country anywhere in the world will follow a similar approach. It's all about international politics, which I have explained in this video. Go in this video. And I think that's all which I wanted to explain, because I thought this is a very important topic for you to understand. And going forward, let's continue to keep a watch on this. I don't think that there will be any resolution in near future, because the WTO body, appellate body, is dysfunctional, and we will continue to pursue our PLI policy. And in near future, something happens, we'll figure out a mechanism to either negotiate or try to basically come out with a solution where we can continue to pursue our PLI policy going forward, so that our manufacturing in country can be further strengthened and we can get we can leverage maximum benefit out of the subsidies that we are giving. So that's all in this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be very happy to answer that. And as usual, very many thanks for your patient listening. Thank you very much, and I'll come back with you with a new video later.